And another video. This is who was the NBA MVP. This has been a heated discussion all season long, and it's been a great season. It's just amazing how much talent is in the NBA this season. And these five players we're going to discuss today, I'll give my top three MVP candidates and also decide who I think deserves MVP this year. So STEMuse, they pinned this tweet on March 28th. It is March 31st, or April 1st, because I'm recording this at like 2 a.m. But this is going to be uploaded 10 a.m. Friday when you guys see this. But anyways, let's go over the STEMuse post on the five prime MVP candidates. So Joel Embiid up here, we'll talk about him first. 30, 11, and 4, career high in points per game and assists per game. First in clutch shooting. He leads the game in 30 points per game, but I believe LeBron is right now the scoring champion of the NBA, but that could change over the next couple weeks, the last 2 weeks. He's tied for 30 in 10 games Embiid, and no Ben Simmons. And yes, I know he has James Harden now, but he was just doing this with a bunch of average players. I mean, Seth Curry, Maxey improved a lot this year. He's a great player. But I don't really like the roster that much. Their bench isn't that good. And their top three team, they're fourth in the East right now. So I do think record does play a factor, and Embiid definitely is one of the candidates that should be considered. Let's talk about Jokic, the most interesting candidate, I believe. 26, 14, and 8 on 58% shooting. Probably honestly, this might be the best season I've ever seen for him as center. He's the first 25, 13, 6 plus. He's the only player top 10 rebounds, points, and assists. The lowest usage rate, and he hasn't had his teammates. Jamal Murray, who was phenomenal in the bubble, obviously tore his ACL, and he just hasn't come back. And he hasn't been playing that much. Michael Porter Jr., I can't even speak, broke his back, needed back surgery, and he's out for a while. So he's playing with Monte Morris, Aaron Gordon. These guys aren't all-stars. Nobody in his team averages over 15, so it's been absolutely marvelous that he's leading his team to a top 3 or 4 seed, and he's doing it all. So Jokic, definitely a good player. Let's talk about Giannis. He just beat the Nets, hit a clutch 3 at over 40 points. He's been going off the last the last 10 games. He's averaging 30, 12, and 6 on 55% shooting. Top 3 scorer, top 3 decoy. He's a great defender, great rebounder, good passer. Lowest minutes per game, which maybe could mean something among candidates. Tied for the lead in 30, 10 games. I actually said Embiid led the league. He's tied with Giannis, so that was a mistake by me. But Giannis, his Bucks are currently they're the 2 seed. They might even get the 1 seed, and I do think getting that 1 seed, having the best record in the East, gives you an extra plus, an extra case to be MVP. Jason Tatum, let's talk about him, the 4th. 27-8 career highs. The last video I made, Celtics that are a contender to the 3 seed. Robert Williams, big loss for them, but I had a bigger discussion about that last video. But SNAMU said they're the best record in the East. It's not true. They're 3rd. Best point differential in 2022. They've been going off. But I know people like to pin that the playoffs don't really matter to MVP, which is true. So even if he goes off in the playoffs and makes his case even better, maybe the Celtics will get to the Eastern Conference Finals or the NBA Championship. Usually the MVP, I know they're announced after the season, but everyone kind of knows what it is in the second round of the playoffs. I think Tatum's honestly the worst candidate of the 5 here, but he's still having a good season. 9 win shares, 21.7 PER. Celtics surprise team. I didn't think they would be this good, but let's talk about the final MVP candidate, Devin Booker. 27, 5, and 5. And they have 62 wins. They literally have the best record in the NBA by far, 62 and 14. And Chris Paul, he's great. He's a Hall of Famer, but is he a top 15 player in this league? Probably not right now. Ian's top 30, and the rest are just role guys. Cam Johnson, Cameron Payne. We saw them make the finals last year. Fantastic squad, but I wouldn't say he has all this star power around him, which has been even more impressive to lead this team to 62 wins. And he leads the NBA in clutch shooting. They're 24 and 5, and he's going off with that CP3, which StatMuse has here, 28, 5, and 7. So, and 8 of the previous 9 actually have won MVP when they have an 80 win percentage. So I do think having the best record in the NBA is a huge case. I know he doesn't have the greatest stats in the world. He has a worse PER than Jason Tatum this year. He's 21.2 compared to Jason's 21.7. He has the worst win shares of all the candidates here and the worst career win shares. But I think he has a pretty strong case just because nobody really. I mean, the Suns, we know they're a good team, but did we think they would win over 60 games this year? Cruised. Maybe they could easily make the NBA Finals. Did we think they would cruise this season? I'm not so sure. So that's just another interesting thing to think about. So let's go. Let's rank my top three now. So I'm gonna go from 3 to 1. So it just makes it a little bit easier. I'm gonna go Jokic, or not three. Sorry, Devin Booker third. I do think Giannis, if they get the 1 seed, but the 1 seed in the West over the best record in the NBA carries a lot of weight for me. Usually the MVP has the best record in the league, or they're first in the conference. Booker's been phenomenal. I know Giannis, we know he's great, but I think Booker deserves a case this year for MVP in 8 of the previous 9. So the odds are in Booker's favor to, become one of the better candidates. Best clutch record. They could easily make the finals. So I'm going to go Booker number 3. Number 2, we're going to go, this one's tough. I'm going to go Joel Embiid here. In my opinion, he's probably having a better season than Giannis, career highs and everything. And he just has a worse roster. He's a center. He doesn't get to handle the ball. He doesn't have Middleton. He doesn't have Drew. He didn't have a point guard on Ben Simmons. He didn't have a point guard for half the season. Now he has Harden. So I think Embiid, career high and all those things. Most in clutch points. He's having a great year. This dude puts up like 35 and 15 every night, it seems like. But the only thing holding him back, they are 4th in the East. Maybe if they finish first, he would have an even better case. So, people are probably going to hate me that Giannis is 4th here, but Tatum's definitely 5th. He's the worst of these candidates. And we will say that Nikola Jokic, number 1, he deserves back to MVPs. Worst roster out of all these guys. Top 4, 3 in the West. He didn't even need to finish top. He didn't even need to finish top 2 MVP last year, and he's having a better season, as I mentioned. 8 assists, 26, 14, and 8. Nobody's ever done that before, and he's the only out of these guys, which makes it even better case. He's the only one of these guys with a top 10 in points, rebounds, assists, lowest usage rate, everything. He's missing his 2 best players. This guy's made everyone on his team valuable. He's the best. He's maybe not the best player in the league, as Kevin Durant, Giannis are probably better players. But for this season, Jokic deserves MVP. Another one of those cases where you don't need the 1 seed to be MVP, as we saw Westbrook win it. Jokic didn't even need a top 2 seed last year, as I mentioned. Everything's in Jokic's favor. No center has really averaged a triple-double before, and he's getting close. 8 assists, 61.9% field goal percentage, the highest PER, 32.8 out of all the candidates, and 14.5 win shares. So I think it's pretty clear that Jokic is my MVP, but all the 5 candidates here, Tatum 5, Giannis 4, Booker 3, Embiid 2, and Nikola Jokic 1. Comment down below who you guys think the MVP is. I'm going Jokic back-to-back, another European player. Giannis won back-to-back. It's Jokic's time to shine again.